My name is Preslee Trammell. I'm from Greenville, Mississippi, and I graduated from Mississippi State University. I had a little different experience finding my way to optometry. I was a high school Spanish teacher before I actually came to optometry school, and I worked towards my degree for education, but I realized in about my sophomore year in college that I didn't think I would be extremely happy for the rest of my life doing education, and I started looking into clinical settings. I realized after working in a clinic one summer for a summer job that I loved clinical settings, so I looked into dentistry and nursing, a few other things, and I just called my hometown optometrist to shadow, and after about 2 days of shadowing there, I just knew that that was it. I definitely feel like I have learned more about optometry since I've gotten here. Coming from a background where neither of my parents were in optometry, my only background was shadowing a little bit and taking the prereqs, of course, but I've learned so much about the profession since I've been here, and the professors are amazing here. Even the first year when you're just in classes mostly, I'm always learning about clinical things because they're in the clinic a lot, so they always relate it back to the clinical aspect of optometry, and I mean, it's just a continual learning process for sure. I think there definitely were a few things during my interview that day that made me feel so at home at SCO, and it was mainly just the people that I interacted with and being in the eye center, seeing the student doctors, being able to work in that capacity in an environment like that. It was really just amazing. It seemed like the most professional place I visited, but also just I felt so welcomed by everyone that greeted me, whether it was the security guard downstairs to, the recruiters upstairs and the people that were interviewing me. It just seemed like a place where it was a big family, and to me that was a huge impact on me. Well, when I came for my interview, obviously at first glance, the eye center is just amazing. I toured several different schools, and it was the best facility that I had seen anywhere. So just to, the basic eye, it's amazing. But once we got inside and I started learning about how many patients are seen there and the type of patients that are seen, and how patients who might not even have insurance can get free procedures done that helps also the students learn, it really is just an amazing place. And as I've gotten to learn more about it and all the technology that's there that I'm learning about in school now, I just think clinically, which is why I chose SCO, I think it's the best place to become a clinician. And the teachers there, the staff doctors, when I was even touring, I could see how much they were working with the student doctors, and not even like a demeaning, scary way. It was more of like them just helping each other and saying, well, go back and look at this. Coming into optometry school with a non-science major was a little bit different. It was mostly just scary at first, because the first few classes, everyone was saying, oh, this is, I've had this so many times, and myself, I was like, gosh, I know I've heard this before in my prerequisite courses, but I haven't had it as much as some of the others in my class. But after having been through it now, I was totally prepared. Just the prereqs, they're there for a reason, and I took them, and I was fine taking the classes here. But like I said, mostly at first it was just more of a little bit scary than actually harder on me. I think I definitely have a different perspective to offer my classmates and to my future patients coming from a non-science background, especially just for example with my Spanish background, I could possibly be able to, speak with a Hispanic patient and might know culturally how to respond better to patients. The transition between undergrad and optometry school, it's not horrible. It's actually very doable. The biggest thing to me was learning time management, because in undergrad you're taking 15 hours maybe a semester, and you are taking a little bit more when you get to optometry school, but you just have to learn how to manage your time. And it is difficult. but nothing, easy is ever worth it. So that's what I keep telling myself. But also, it's just, you also have the fact of like meaningful learning taking place. And, if you know that this is what you really want to do, you're excited about these classes, and I don't like spending my whole day studying, but when I'm studying what I know I love and what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, it's fun and I'm excited about it. And a lot of the coursework, even though it's a lot of hours, a lot of it overlaps, and you can kind of start piecing together, what all you've learned over the first semester or the first year. My experience at SCO so far has just blown my mind, honestly. I thought it was an amazing school when I was applying and interviewing, and I knew that I wanted to be here. But over this first year of being here, it's just amazing how I feel at home, but also I always say it runs like a well-oiled machine. Everyone is working together to make this the best possible school that it can be. And I think it's the best school in the nation. The professors that I've gotten to know, they really truly make you feel like a colleague, and they are there to help. And they're not only, the best professionals in optometry, but they are amazing teachers. And I know that that's hard to find. And, they come up with ways to keep it interesting and relate it to clinic and everything like that. And it really is just amazing how well everyone works together here and it feels like a family and cohesive group that's doing these extraordinary things like the expansion, and just how involved the school is in the community. No regrets coming here at all.